This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Thank you to our sponsor, Sphere Rocket VA, for making another episode of the Icon podcast possible. I'm your host, Gianna, and Mandy, welcome to the show.
Hey guys.
So Mandy, let's get to know all about you. Take us back to the very beginning. Who is Mandy? Where are you from? What market are you in now? And how did you wind up in real estate?
I am born and raised in my hometown. So that is probably, I think the best part is not a lot of agents were born and raised here. So I know my market front and back. But I do Omaha, all of our surrounding areas, Gretna, Bellevue, Bennington, all of that fun stuff. I got into real estate. Ultimately, I was working and I was basically a regional manager for a fitness company, gyms and stuff like that. And I was working 24/7. I had a passion in interior design when I started college. And when I had my first baby, me and my husband sat down and we were like, okay, how do I be home more? So I decided to explore my passion for interior design and houses, and I got my real estate license, and I have been full-time ever since. So that's kind of how I got started, and everything like that there.
Look at you finding the best of both worlds and not looking back. So Mandy, how did you find EXP? Was it your first brokerage, or did it present itself to you while you were at another brokerage? How did you go about making that switch?
I started at a local brokerage, Nebraska Realty and stuff like that. So I started local, loved it, absolutely loved the atmosphere and stuff. I ended up moving over to one of our other bigger offices here to join a specific team. And shortly after I made that move, my sponsor actually me and her ran into each other, and it was just starting in Nebraska at that point in time. And she told me she was exploring it. And at that point in time, I was like, oh my goodness, I literally just was reading about EXP like last week. So me and her really started diving in with EXP, and we were just kind of blown away with everything. And I have very much of an entrepreneur mindset. So everything just made a lot more sense, able to grow my business and grow my future a lot more. So it took me about a month to come over. It was ultimately just hard because the team I joined were good friends of mine. So it was really hard for me to just pick up and move shortly after joining them for 6 months. So that was really what took me the longest. Is it took me some time to accomplish that, but I've been blown away with it ever since. I've been at EXP coming up on 4 years. So it's been a good change.
Yeah, it's hard to make that change. You have that sense of loyalty and, the friendships, the connections there. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to do what's best for them and their family. And had they seen the model as well, they probably don't like to make the move. And so, I can see why that was tough and took you a little bit longer. But Mandy, what makes you say, I'm never leaving EXP? I know we have like revenue share, stock options, collaboration, but what makes you, what makes your heart beat with EXP?
I feel like with the stock, there's just so much more to work for. I mean, these other brokerages, yes, they give trophies and pretty signs in the yard saying, oh, yeah, a top agent lives here and stuff like that. But that only goes so far. I'm ultimately about building my family's financial wealth and everything. And that's what EXP allows me to do with the stock and the revenue share. I mean, the revenue share is just honestly a cherry on top. I mean, I don't put my primary focus on that at all. But it's nice to have it, especially with being born and raised here. I know a lot of people and talk to a lot of people, but ultimately it's just being able, I've never been a stock person, and this is the first time I've ever owned stock. So it's nice having that extra little, side money, but it's also helping me grow my retirement and my wealth for my family.
Absolutely. It does add to it, and that, like you said, it's a cherry on top. You could forget about it, look at it 3 years from now and be like, whoa, that's a nice surprise.
Exactly.
And it's a lot less stress, you know, if you're not a stock person and you don't want to see the ups and downs, just let it do its thing, not even have to worry about it. Well, Mandy,
Exactly.
obviously you're very busy, you know, you're a mom, you're a real estate agent, you've got mentors, probably mentees, but how do you take care of Mandy? You know, how do you make sure you're not on burnout mode and you've got a nice work-life balance?
With work-life balance, that's one thing that my sponsor for one and other agents around me always say. They respect me so much because I'm very protective of my family time.
Mm-hmm.
Over the years when I first started, it was very hard for me to figure out a schedule that worked. It was very hard for me to figure out that routine when buyers were asking to see houses, you know, left and right, so that I didn't get burnt out. Now I have very much figured out my schedule and think ahead of time on how to group them together, think out my routes so that I can, you know, end at a spot where the other buyer needs to start. So I've learned that very actively over the 6 years, so it's much better now. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely difficult. I mean, especially in this market when we are holding on to buyers so much longer and showing them so many more homes, especially in Omaha. I think we posted stats not too long ago that we're the number 3 fastest selling cities. So it's been crazy, but it's just learning how to time block it and utilize your time the best is really honestly the best thing for my time. And over the years, I have learned to say no.
And that's okay to say no. I just noticed too, you're cute. Is it a jacket or blazer? Your cute little EXP.
Oh, this side, yep,
That's so cute. A little icon. That's really cute. Why is that the first time I've seen that? That's adorable.
So yes, Cricut Maker comes in handy.
Oh my gosh, you made that?
Yeah.
Mandy, I think you should sell those.
Me and the girls here in Omaha, we had some other ones with the old logo made, so I made them for EXP Con. And oh my gosh, so many
That's
people.
so cute. I think I know a lot of girls that I've had on this show that would love that. Mandy, stop! How cute! It's got your little signature on the bottom. That's adorable.
So come on, we gotta represent, right?
Yeah. Okay. You're representing and you're doing some, you know, hobby work. So taking care of yourself at the same time, recharging, and now you've got a cute little jacket. I need one. I need one that says Icon podcast host.
I'll make you one.
Oh, I'm gonna email you. I think I need one. It's a business expense, boss. I need it. Well, that's awesome. Well, Mandy, let's talk about the Icon Award then. You know, you're an Icon Award winner. What kind of production does that take in your market of Omaha? You know, what is the Icon Award in your eyes? How do you contribute back to the culture? Are you a mentor? Are you teaching lessons? Tell us the Icon Award through point of view of Mandy.
Last year, hitting Icon was obviously one of my biggest goals. It's the first year I hit it. When I first joined EXP, I was only about 3 million in production, so I was not doing crazy ton. Really started using KV Core and all my resources at EXP. I missed it by like 5 transactions the year before, so I got super close. And then last year I was like, it's happening. I'm not missing it. So it was a tough push to get there. I made it. I do tend to have a little bit higher of an average price point for our area. So my production was about 12.5 million. And that was me on my own at that point in time. I do mentoring. I've done that since Nebraska opened here. So I do tend to take on quite a few. With my previous career, I did a lot of training. So I love helping new agents and everything, but I also do it because I didn't have that help when I first got started. You know, I was wandering around the office like a lost puppy dog trying to find somebody that is willing to answer my questions and help me. And I just felt like I was annoying people and, you know, questioning if I'm doing something right. So the fact that I'm able to do that for these new agents so that they actually have somebody to go to, I love doing. And I just started my team this year, the collective group. And that was the ultimate background on why I started the team, is to be able to bring on the new agents, help train them, help provide them with leads and stuff like that, so that they can actually, you know, get through those first 3 transactions a lot easier, and have a little bit more support on my side.
Absolutely, and that's good. You dive into your mentors, you lean into them, and then you give back at the same time. One of my favorite sayings that I've learned from an Icon podcast guest is you learn, you earn, and then you return at EXP. And it's what really makes the culture just so unique from everywhere else, whether it's real estate brokerages or corporate companies, whatever it is, EXP is one of a kind.
Exactly. And it's amazing because I still learn from my mentees. I mean, sometimes they call and ask me a question. I'm like, ooh, I've never dealt with that yet. Let me figure it out though, So I'm still learning even with the mentees.
And that's great. You're working through it with them, not just kind of sending them off or throwing them to the wolves, leaving them to themselves, which is really great, Mandy. So obviously you work with like a lot of, newer agents, younger agents, just mentees in general. So for somebody that's new to EXP or new to real estate and EXP in general, if they're looking at that Icon Award, it's their first year here. Is that something that's achievable for them? What's some goals they should set out for it? Just some advice for the newbies out there.
Absolutely, it's achievable. I say take all of the resources that we have, utilize your KV Core to the fullest extent because it's an amazing program. And then utilizing all of our lead resources, OpCity and all of that stuff where you're able to get those leads, pay a referral fee at closing, no money out of their pocket as new agents. So it's not a huge financial burden. But if you utilize them, they work. I have a girl that's on my organization. I mean, she came over to EXP, came from a smaller brokerage, but she was super nervous. Mandy, where am I going to get the leads? Mandy, where am I going to get the production? I'm like, utilize the systems and I promise you'll be fine. She Icon last year and she was a year and a half in. So, I mean, and she was a hustler. I mean, she took all the OpCity leads. She used her KV Core. She did everything that she was supposed to do and she made it happen.
That's awesome. She saw those tools in the tool belt. She picked them up. She learned how to use them. She had great coaches in the process. That's awesome to hear. And it's important, for those that are looking at making the jump over to EXP or those who have just made the jump to know that those tools are there and it's up to them, to get involved with it. I had somebody refer to EXP as a cruise ship. There's a lot of amenities. There's yoga on the front deck at 9 a.m. There's an all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet on this one, Zumba on that one. You got to pick which one is best suited for you.
Right. That's funny.
It is funny, but I was like, you know what? That is a very accurate description because it's still fun. It's great, but there's a lot going on. It's better than drinking water from a fire hose. I think that one's a little overwhelming. Well, Mandy, when you weren't with EXP, I'm sure you were on the outside looking in, sitting on the fence, seeing the grass was greener, but there's rumors floating around like EXP is a cult. I'm not drinking that Kool-Aid. It's a pyramid scheme. I just saw you roll your eyes. Mm-hmm. So what would you have to say to somebody that's sitting on that fence right now?
Oh, I mean, honestly, sometimes they're just not open-minded enough to sit down and look at the numbers. I mean, once you sit down and look at the numbers, I mean, they tell the truth over and over and over and over again. And everyone always says that. It's such a hard question because so many people are so different with it. But I mean, we hear a lot here in Omaha that, it's a, MLM. Well, every company is. There's always somebody at the top, whatnot. But EXP is set up so fantastically that it allows everyone to benefit and everything. So I'm like, why wouldn't you want to have a piece of that and stuff? So I think it ultimately just comes down to honestly breaking down the numbers and showing them. Now when I show people, they literally look at me dumbfounded, the difference, of commission. And they're just like, what? What am I doing wrong? Well,
commission, you can cap.
So you're doing wrong. But if you're not willing to open your eyes and actually see it, and so many people say, it's all about the agent attraction and stuff. But as you and I know, I mean, it's a small percentage of the agents at EXP that actually do those things.
Right. So. Absolutely. Well, Mandy, I think this has been a great episode. Those are all the questions that I have for you, but is there anything else that you'd like to touch on so you don't feel like you left anything unsaid in your episode?
No, I mean, other than that, it's just hustle and get out there and do your guys' best. And real estate is a ever-changing career and everyone is always learning. So don't ever feel like you are the newbie or that you don't know enough or anything. So everyone is always learning, whether we're icon agents or brand new agents. So just keep pushing.
Absolutely. Reach out to an EXP agent that interests you. Listen to more of these podcasts. We're here to answer your questions. It's what EXP is all about. Come learn, come earn, and then return to the EXP culture.
Exactly.
Anybody can do great here if they see the tools laid out for them and they're just eager to use them.
Exactly.
Well, awesome. Mandy, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to hit you up for one of those spicy jackets. I love it. And I'll be looking for you at Shareholders and EXPCon.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Awesome. Thank you for your time today, Mandy.
Awesome.
Bye.
Thanks for having me.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.